How long must we sing this song? That anniversary, by the way, is today. Look, brand new data out. This is brand new. Finally, you guys know I've been bitching. Where are all the marine biologists? Where are all the marine biologists? Greenpeace has been out there reporting data. Finally, the very first heavy-duty scientific study done by an American university, very credible, the University of Massachusetts, it's in. Guess where I had to find it? The Times of India. Why is this not on the front page of the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, Fox, fucking ABC, NBC, CBS, BBC? Where the fuck are you? For real. This story is the mega fucking monster story in the last 100 years. Bar none. And it's fucking nowhere. The Times of India. They're reporting their buoys they set out 4,000 miles out, have collected data for quite some time now. The microorganisms, the sawfish, their report says that the DNA has been grotesquely altered. The radiation levels are way up and that the DNA is changing. That is changing the complexity of the organisms of the small fish. And in their estimation, within a year and a half to 2 years, the Pacific, the greatest food basket in the world, will be completely contaminated. The DNA will be altered all the way to California, across the entire complex of the ocean, which is the greatest food basket, which is in the food chain, which means we all get it. This is a major fucking story. No one wants to fucking report it. It fucking blows my fucking mind. What is the matter with you fucking people? Look, people ask me all the time, where you gather your data, where you get your fucking data. You go right to my site, right on the front page. Miss Milky the Clown, brilliant, real dynamic genius journalist who's poured her heart and soul. These are not crackpots. Mary Greeley, 1954, Rad Chick, Connecting the Dots. These are not crackpots. These are very hardcore, sophisticated journalists who have countercultured the mainstream. Anytime you have a culture, you're going to get a counterculture. I termed this counterculture a long time ago. Post-ignorance. This is the time of ignorance. The internet and these people, these are serious, brilliant, genius journalists who have dug in. Anything you want's out there. Look, I get people with Geiger counters coming to my site from all over the world. I have people from Brazil, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, all of them. They're coming to me every day, and a lot of you people that are watching and have been heavily into this and are sending us information and you're thinking people don't watch your videos or incorporated, you know what, you've probably been in a video and don't even know it. Miss Milky the Clown has incorporated so much of your good data. It's solid. The mainstream media will not report it. Why is beyond me. I mean, I could go off a whole freaking subset of lecture on that. But this is on. You read that. I'll post it. Not to mention that the 37 times the inland trout that is coming into our country. Look, we've had this conservative movement. We've had this freaking conservative culture. We've had this fucking media that just lets them do whatever they fucking want. And if you don't believe that's true, this country does not want to hear the fucking truth. Think about Iraq. Think about fucking Iraq. Did you hear any journalists when Valerie Plame Wilson, who is the liaison in Africa, with Cheney and Novak and Brammer and Wolfowitz are all saying, look, they have weapons of mass destruction. They're getting them in East Africa. He is the ambassador in East Africa. He's the man of all the knowledge. He's saying they're fucking lying. He's screaming his head off. They're fucking lying. So what does Cheney and fucking Novak do? Out Valerie Plame, a felony. You don't think the white-collar crime's fucking legal? Oh yeah, a felony. They out him. Journalism is a piece of shit. When fucking Bush stole the election, Rupert Murdoch, the greatest, by far. Look, passive-aggressive behavior is the most dangerous. Aggressive, loud, tough guys. As Teddy Roosevelt started this progressive movement in 1900, he was mean and fucking tough. People that are out in your face, mean, fucking tough, what they say is who they are. It is the passive-aggressive dangerous, the Karl Rove from right here. You don't think that man's got incredible power? These men are evil. They are evil. They're passive-aggressives. Rupert Murdoch, the most, he is fucking as big as Hitler, maybe even bigger. Yeah, and if you think that's over the top, oh no, that passive-aggressive took control of this country. You think about the theft of the Bush Gore. Did any of the fucking media jump on it? Was any of the media reporting after, when all the votes were even fucking counted in Florida, that he really did win and wasn't even fucking close? As the Supreme Court, as we have politicians in fucking robes, as he appoints Alito and Roberts onto the court when he had no business being in the fucking White House? Did I see any fucking media reporting any of this? Fuck no. The media just like Fukushima. They don't give a fuck. It's because America doesn't want to hear the truth? Are we all in fucking denial? Are we just all fucking idiots? Are we just all fucking dummied so fucking down? I don't fucking know, but that is the culture. But we have a counterculture. I termed it post-ignorance. That is what the Occupy Wall Street movement is all about. That is what the Occupy Wall Street movement is all about. Look, I termed it post-ignorance a long time, and I says if post-ignorance doesn't take place soon, it's going to gobble us up. You think about what Mother Earth went through the last 2 years. My God. My God, as these freaking extreme radicals think just to extract the earth and it ain't going to affect them and just destroy it. You know, I tell everybody, you know, you got your choice between those freaking oil-soaked Atlantic shrimp and oysters or the Pacific freaking cesium-laced salmon. They have annihilated both, and they're both equally just fucking as horrific, and they get away with it because we've empowered white-collar fucking criminals. We've empowered the God Almighty dollar that's worth shit. It's worth shit. Oh, jobs, baby, jobs, jobs. Oh, yeah. How many fucking jobs have been created? In the Gulf, we created, what, 100,000 by deep shore offshore drilling? We fucking annihilated millions. For what? These worthless paper fucking pieces of shit we have? Look. This is the story of our time. This is the socioeconomic story of our time. This is the environmental story. This is the economic story. This is the philosophical story. If you do not believe this is a philosophical battle, you are insane. This is a mega philosophical battle that we as so-called tree huggers have lost. Oh, we've been turned as this soft tree. Now, talk about an oxymoron, a soft tree hugger. Is the right creepy fucking evil fucks have been fucking taken over by the Rupert Murdoch passive aggressive, the Karl Rove from right here with a small c as his mother spelled it, as she intended it? Have they fucking, oh yeah, but it's the left just as much because they forgot how to fight. They turned in this latte drinking, organic tomato eating, fucking debating society fucking pussies. There is no such thing as a soft environment. Teddy Roosevelt, as the progressive movement was born, was meaner than fuck, tougher than fucking nails. Franklin Roosevelt, meaner than fuck. He's getting these people's face. Bobby Kennedy, meaner than fuck. John Kennedy, meaner than fuck. Rachel Carson, meaner than fuck. We lost our fucking way. We let these fuckers mow us down. We let them fucking annihilate us with this passive aggressive fucking, we want to rob anything for a fucking dollar and fuck the whole fucking world. Look. Fukushima is the nightmare of our time. It is the fucking nightmare of our time. The Gulf is the nightmare of our fucking time. Fukushima is fucking raging from hell. There are 3 full core meltdowns going, China syndrome. There are 3 spent fuel rods in full fusion fucking meltdown. The ocean has had water poured over it for 390 days. Water pouring into the fucking ocean, all during the eco chain. This study, Greenpeace has been reporting it for a long time, but this is the first study. You're going to see more to come. Those boys, and as they said, you read that, and if that doesn't fucking scare the fuck out of you, if that doesn't scare the fuck out, and it's reality. It is fucking reality. The DNA has been altered. And everybody just sits back, well, the human being will adapt. And oh no, there's been plenty of fucking studies out there that prove the DNA will not adapt. It will not. We know this. We know this. Nuclear fallout. As my father was fucking nuked to death in the Nevada test site, now I have leukemia. You know, as this thing evolved in my socioeconomic study and I got so venomous about what happened in the fucking Gulf, as this has went forward, you know, I thought I knew a lot about freaking this subject matter as I did my PhD, as I incorporated environmental economics. Boy, do I know now, because I'm in the middle of it. I drive to that hospital every day. They keep me sometimes, they don't keep me sometimes. I got a fucking war going on. I understand this fucking now, because I am in the fucking cradle. I am in the fucking cradle of fucking death. In the fucking cradle of humanity. In the cradle of fucking environmental fucking poisoning. As Rachel Carson was in the fucking cradle. As fucking Teddy Roosevelt was fucking in the middle. They fought with passion. They fought with fucking valor. And nothing ever come out of a movement by passiveness in this fucking country. Nothing ever. And if you believe that passive fucking behavior gets things done, you are a fool. You are a fool. The Civil War doesn't tell you that. The fucking gangs of New York fucking doesn't tell you that's fucking destroy. The fucking labor movement of the 1930s doesn't fucking tell you that. Vietnam doesn't fucking tell you that. Iraq doesn't tell you that. These fucking ignorant fucking wars that we fought over the last time to make and power people fucking money. Did they all darn change fucking humanity? Oh yeah. Did they create this fucking passive fucking aggressive culture that robs and pillages and rapes and destroys the fucking earth? Oh yes. But there's a counterculture. There's a counterculture, and that counterculture is us on YouTube, fighting with passion, putting out real information and real fucking data. You want information, you want data? Go right there. You'll get it. You'll get it. This is going to be one mega major story going forward. Nothing left to win and nothing left to lose. That's where I'm at. You fuckers think you can scare me, intimidate? What are you going to fucking do? What are you going to do? What the fuck? You've got us backed into a fucking corner. You have taken everything from me. I mean, my whole agenda, I've always lived abstractly, was the earth, the wind, the sky, the sun. The sun. The sun has always given me strength, power. I've spent my whole life outdoors. That's all that's fucking left. If they fucking took our careers, they took our fucking money, they took our relationships, they blew them up like fucking bombs. They took our communal fucking America that we had. They took our communal world that we have and they turned it into bombs and guns and guns and bombs. Now, the only thing that we could always live abstractly and we could always find was the environment. As here in Utah, Idaho, Montana, what happened to you people? What happened? We were the environmentalists of the world. As Stegner said, as the great Wallstetter, who could have lived anywhere in the world that he wanted to live. And where did he live? He lived here in Utah. As he said, if you think the Germans invented genocide, you know nothing about the West. As we was raised, I was taught writing that WPA masterpiece right there. As I walked to and from school, right here where I stand as a boy. Everett Ruiz was an iconic giant. Rachel Carson was an iconic giant. As Scott Matheson was nuked to death, he was an iconic giant. We were the environmentalists here in Utah. We worshiped the sun in Idaho, Montana, and Utah. All the environmentalists landed here. We were contemporized. We would not let anybody exploit us and rob our beautiful freaking state and our beautiful nature for profit. Now you fucking ignorant fucking morons do a handshake behind our doors with a guy like fucking Herbert, who has no fucking clue, who will tell you the earth is 4,000 fucking years old and that environmental fucking warming is a fucking joke, as they shake hands behind the door and build a nuclear plant on the Green River Blue Castle. The same time, the most catastrophic nightmare that has ever happened to the world, Fukushima, as it is destroying the earth slowly and surely, as it will fucking kill hundreds of millions of fucking people. Now, future generations, generations to come, you open up nuclear to Georgia and Utah. Wow, how fucking ignorant is this fucking country? Post-ignorant someday, not today.